Hello. Oh my gosh, it's been a while. It's been a little bit. I've let the State Farm episodes come out. We've talked about it and it's been awesome. But I really didn't get to talk about the behind the scenes because I know we were reacting to it live. And if you missed it on YouTube, I actually gave a lot of insider stuff on some of the episodes that I kind of wanted to recap. I know everyone had their vlogs and everything like that. However, there's some stuff that you guys didn't get to see, okay? The magic, the banter, the everything that I think I wanted to be able to touch on because I'm gonna be honest with you, it kind of got left out and I understand why they had to leave it out. But man, you know, if you would have seen the trash talk backstage, you would have loved it. So this is my little State Farm Gamerhood behind the scenes, if you will, and I'm really excited to show you guys. So let's go through some of the recaps. Firstly, to start off, I want to say thank you to State Farm for even inviting me to the Gamerhood. It was awesome, and I loved it so much, and I had the best time. And if I'm being honest with you, they treated me very, very, very well. I was getting back from Japan, which was awesome, and they put me in a really nice hotel and everything to like treat me to make sure I was very comfortable. And it was really cute because it was actually right next to Universal, which was awesome. The whole time I was looking out, I actually have a picture from my window. You can just see the Minion looking at me from the window, and I kind of liked it. It was kind of really cozy, so it was a great time. I loved it. And all in all, the hotel and everything is really cool, but what really made the magic happen was getting there every day. I'm gonna be honest, the staff was amazing. Every time we got there, it's, you know, we're getting there at 7 a.m. and we're there until 7 p.m. It's early as crap by the time we're even getting up. I'm getting up at 5 to be able to get ready. We have to go in, we have to change into our clothes, everything. And from the moment we get there to the moment we leave, the staff, the cast, the everything are like the best people ever, okay? And personally for me, I have no complaints because the Gamerhood was all my friends. Not only did I get to spend a week with really awesome people, but I got to spend a week trash talking the hell out of my friends. I can't ask for a better week personally. But as I was saying, there is stuff that you guys didn't always get to see. Like for example, Mark and I had this weird rivalry going on for pretty much the entire time. And it wasn't really so much as there was any real beef. It was just that I just don't want to see Mark Phillips win. I don't want to. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. But when he starts talking trash to you, you kind of have to like handle it. So if you notice in some of the episodes, me and him have a little bit of back and forth, or how in the beginning he says he doesn't want me on his team and stuff like that. It's really because we spent the entire first 30 minutes even being there at the shoot just arguing about whose team I was going to be on. Now, Berlizzi was actually trying to get me on his team, but Mark from the get-go said, Cinna, I don't want you. I want Lulu because Lulu is a better gamer than you. Have you seen my gaming skills?
The action, Cidion trying to take out Cinna.
No. Oh! Anyways, that started off a really good rivalry, which is funny. The only reason I bring that up is because I have this really funny video of when we were doing all of our photo shoots. And I was kind of like heckling Mark behind the scenes because I'm going to be honest with you, he was actually taking decent photos and it was making me a little bit mad. So I wanted to knock his ego down a bit. But then I told the lady to take some off-guard photos so that way he looked really bad in them and I could make fun of him. And somehow she took all the off-guard photos and it looked like a model every time.
Floating sigil.
I bet. Hey, Cinna.
What?
I don't take bad pictures.
Ooh,
Let's go.
Yeah, we'll see.
Do you know what? We were actually saying that you photographed really, really well.
Amber, I'm making a video hating on him. You can't. Yeah, I'm talking like, I don't know if he has that small little head of his that is photogenic, but I'm not even joking you. She was laughing because she even says out loud, I just can't take a bad photo of him. And I had to walk away from the photo shoot. I couldn't deal with it. But anyways, really what started with the episodes though, and the production is probably like my favorite part. There were a ton of guests that we genuinely didn't know were going to be on the show. Even the first day they entered Kai, we had no idea that Kai was going to be on the show. Ray didn't tell me she was going to be on it. I certainly didn't know that the other guests like Cameron Brink and other people were going to be on there. So I was really, really happy that I got to meet a bunch of new people as well as some of my friends, which was really cool. And all in all, it made the challenges, I think, a little more interesting. Now, in the first episode, so even when they first start calling us up and they're calling off our names, all this rivalry goes on in the back and I have no idea that I'm actually going to be the first one picked. It was random. So it really worked out because I was probably the most annoying but vocal person about what I wanted and the person who argued the most with everyone about what team I wanted to be on. This guy's a jerk, this guy's a liar, and this guy's delusional. Also, a lot of the gaming challenges that they had are like party animals that day. In my opinion, Party Animals on the first day was the best game that we did because the rest of them felt, in my opinion, a little unbalanced. The point was, I think that some of the hacks and the buffs made it a little bit more difficult or like uneven than it needed to be. The main thing that I was really stressed about is on day one, the drop trivia. Spoiler alert, it is me and Ludwig versus each other. Now, unfortunately, Ludwig and I were so good at the drop trivia that they ran out of questions and they had to scramble to get new questions. Now, this, of course, is no one's fault. No one could have expected that me and Ludwig or any of us were going to be smart. I'm going to be honest with you. But it sucked because it meant that I had to hold on for a few minutes extra, which I think made my arm strength really bad and made it so we lost that challenge. Okay, that's my little bit of behind the scenes. I'm not gonna lie, I wish it wasn't that way because I think I could have beat Lud and I don't think they would have gotten the other questions, but it is unfortunate. If I can be honest with you too, I was on that platform for so long that my hand was like slightly numb. It probably gave me an extra hard question that they knew I wouldn't get because they're like, girl, if you don't get off this platform and give it up. But we tried our best. It is what it is. Now, obviously in day 2, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to barely touch on the games after day 1 because I just don't care. First of all, Overcooked is like the worst game imaginable. So if you've ever played it, you know it's really, really bad. Really, what they don't know is the gameplay itself. When you are actually watching it, you'll realize that the maps are not conventional maps. In fact, all of the tech crew came and told us they were specialized maps that were made to be especially hard so none of us could complete it. It's like, you know, when I'm reacting to this and I'm seeing everybody call me dumb, I just know that no one could do it either. It's impossible. Now, I'm not gonna lie, we looked so much more forward to all the physical challenges because they felt a lot crazier. Specifically, for example, like the robot arm one. Listen, I love Jason, okay? That is my homie, that's my little brother. But that robot arm one just makes me real sad. Jason spent maybe about 75% of the time in that little foam pit fighting Mark to be funny, which pretty much meant that the entire time, Berlizzi was the only one running around trying to get stuff, and Jason was grabbing onto Mark's ankles and trying to pull him down. And I'm not gonna lie, Berlizzi, love him to death, but he was so winded after that challenge. Oh my gosh, he was so winded. I actually thought that he needed a medic. I just do want to highlight because it's really, really cool. The guests specifically were some of my favorites. Okay, obviously you guys know we had Kai on our team. We also had Cameron. Getting to hang out with Kai behind the scenes, I've always said is like really, really awesome. Because not only is like, you know, a friend and stuff like that, but Kai has been like really supportive of like women streamers and stuff like that. And anytime I'm around Kai or RDC or any of them, I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like really motivated. Though we did lose, I actually am really happy that State Farm had Kai on my team and Cameron because they're both like such inspiring people that it made me wanna work harder. You know, it made me like feel better about the fact that we were losing. So I was like, okay, well, I'll get up and do better tomorrow. Did I do better tomorrow? Hell no. But could I have done better? Yes, okay. And I felt a little more motivated. It was nice. And also Cameron specifically, I felt like Cameron and I the entire day had like this really nice little bond. We like ate lunch together. We did this together. And I'm not gonna lie, I watched her step in the way of Mark when Mark was trying to pick on me. And she even, I think was talking about how she could play ball against him. And Mark got into a conversation with her where he said he thinks 5 of him could beat her in basketball. Mark, be so serious. Like, what are we even talking about? Oh, come on. But all the guests on our team were specifically amazing. Now, of course, I am a little biased because I got to see my girl Valkyrie on there. I had my entire heart was stolen when she walked through. I was very excited. That is my long lost sister. So I was having an amazing time even though she wasn't on the team. And it was overall just great. The only thing with her that I feel really bad about, her getting it to come in for a day and then not being able to play the final physical challenge at all, I actually felt kind of bad about. You know, it's just unfortunate pairing. If she would have been on our team, she would have done great because that was where we clutched up. And speaking of, oh my gosh, okay.
So we can get
The opponents knew that the plan was to
Specifically though with this game, I do want to tell something because this was left out of the rerun, but it was really cool to see in real time. So I was really excited about it. It's like my one clutch. I'm allowed to talk about it, okay? In the beginning of this challenge, when we were doing it, I had gotten the 2 cards, okay? We had gotten the 2 buffs that we were going to use to be able to do anything or like mess with anybody in the game. And I put mine in my pocket. And when I did, I looked at Jason and I looked at Berlin and I said, hey, I'm going to keep this in my pocket so I can pull it out in a really cool way. You know, you're dealing it. And I'm like joke about it, right? And I said, watch me forget that it's there. I make that joke. Now, if you know me, you know me. I'm a little bit, you know what I mean? I forgot that it's there. I'm going to be honest with you. I did. But that to say, I don't know what happened, but in the end where I pull out the card, I genuinely had forgotten it was there. The only reason I even remember is because I was so frustrated that we were going to get second. We really needed a third place in order to catch up. And I touched my pocket or put my hand in my pocket out of frustration. And when I did was when I felt the card bend in my pocket and it clicked. Right as he's about to say we're ending our turn. It was iframes level, like cinema, okay? It clicks and I pulled out the card and used it. And even Berlizzi and Jason had forgotten that I even had the card. It was one of those moments that was actually so cinema that I'm pretty sure I talked about it every single time for the rest of the day if somebody tried to say I'm bad at games. I was really sad that they didn't show that side conversation because it was actually way cooler than I thought. But I'm realizing now when I say it that it also isn't that cool. And it was just me finally doing something for once because I have been so useless in the series. I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing it. Okay, now obviously by the next episode, which is episode 4, we're a little bit discouraged, if I'm being honest with you. It was looking a little rough, but we're trying our hardest. Now, I went into this hoping that the gaming one would be the best experience ever. That one was so hard. In Rocket Racing, you can mess up one time and you will go from 1st to 8th. It's like that, okay? And we don't really get a chance to practice. So unfortunately, I found out that some of them had played Rocket Racing prior, which made it really, really difficult. And if I'm being honest with you, this was one of the ones that when we ended up losing and they actually interviewed our team after, the morale was down by so much. We didn't really want to interview. We did one, but like, you know, we didn't really want to. And then of course, obviously the same thing when we're moving into the physical challenges, once again, in my opinion, the best thing. Even though this one was trivia, it was kind of fine with me because at least we get to beat up and do stuff. And might I add, not so bad in my opinion.
We're gonna lock this one in.
I'm not gonna lie, you were a fool.
Now let's see if you got this correct. Team Rage Quit. You were correct. 2 points revealed. That's great. That's great.
Having Cameron, who is like really well traveled and has like gone over the country for her career, knew a lot of the things that I didn't even know. And she also knew Cape Cod from a bag of chips.
She was Cape Cod. It looks like
1 point.
because you know those bag of chips that they sell in the grocery store. I love chips. That's why I know.
Who knew? They were her favorite chips. Do I know where Cape Cod is now? It's like here, right? Now, obviously, you know, at the end, the final episode, we get a captain change. I'm not gonna lie to you. None of us knew the script ahead of time. And so me and Berlizzi had been so loyal and locked in the whole time on our team that seeing that there was possibly gonna be a situation in which we're gonna have to lose captains sucked. I'd rather lose with Berlin than have one on Ludwig's team, which, spoiler alert, we did. Even though I got moved to Ludwig's team, it was kind of like, I don't know, a full circle redemption considering he said he didn't want me to be on his team. And if I'm being honest with you, the laser game in specific, okay, the regular games that day was cool, Marvel Rivals, yada yada, who cares? The laser game at the end of the day was very serious, okay? Mark's team had to go first. Our team had to go second. That's how it was. We opted to go second because we wanted to know how long it would take the first team to go. And some tea. Mark's team took quite a long time. Actually, it was so much time that we were really confused as to how it even took them that long. They came back in and I thought, okay, this is gonna be a piece of cake or it's way harder than we expect. We have no idea. It didn't even matter, if I'm being honest. I had geniuses on my team, and yes, that includes Jason, okay? I think we did amazing. We actually breezed through the other challenges because we had an extra wall anyway, so we had to kind of get it like fixed and da-da-da-da. But we were still able to do really good and beat it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it felt really good being the anchor of the team and not in a bad way. It did. But my angle being more annoying and difficult to deal with and being able to get it done that easy, I was very happy personally. So you know, all in all, I think it created a really good full circle story, which I'm really, really happy about. And I would do State Farm Gamerhood again. To be honest with you, I cannot wait for season 5. State Farm, call my line, you know? I had such a good time being able to just like be around people that I already like have been friends with for so long and get to joke with them. And I think State Farm allowed us to keep our same level of humor, which is really, really awesome. And We won in the Gamerhood. It was awesome. And Gamerhood, if you ever want me back, I would love to come back. But in general, I hope you guys really liked watching it because it was so fun. And yeah, I kind of had to take a week off, but I would do it over again.